Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. As a surprise during the week of Christmas, Game Informer released a couple articles, revealing some new art but also some more details about the story of Dead Island 2 and what to expect within its opening hour. It's a fairly interesting read, discussing their experience with the playable characters Danny and Ryan, both being characters from the 2015 version of the game finally making a return. But for this video, I'll be discussing a lot of the more important info released in this bulk of articles, but in case you're dying for more information, all the links will be down below. Alright, so let's begin. First off, it's been confirmed Dead Island 2 will take place exclusively in Los Angeles, so no San Francisco like we saw in 2014 and 15. This really shouldn't be too much of a surprise, as the gameplay we've seen has taken place only in LA for this new version. And to be honest, this entire game is taking many step backs from the ambition of the 2015 version, but they have a specific vision they want to focus on, and it's not like this older version is really much better. I would say the newer version sticks closer to the original Dead Island, and Dead Island 2 2015 is more like Escape Dead Island with its cel-shading look. But hey, we never talk about this one, for reasons we will not discuss today. From what I've heard though, apparently no cars or human combat is going to be in Dead Island 2, but we'll have to see how it turns out. The story begins in the last few days of evacuating in LA to get non-infected out, with it being set roughly a decade after Dead Island 1, which takes place in 2006. It's been confirmed for a few months now that Dead Island 2 will begin with a plane crash like its 2015 counterpart, but now we have quite a few details as to how the full prologue will play out. As briefly seen in recent trailers, you meet each of the playable survivors on one of the last planes leaving LA, and someone on board ends up being infected. The military has their protocol for infected not leaving the city, so they shoot down the plane and it crashes back into LA. After, you're introduced to the combat and passenger zombies, and soon you're bit and become infected but don't turn into a zombie. So, a big part of the story is getting the survivors' blood to somebody who can possibly create a cure. A plotline similar to the original, similar to The Last of Us, similar to a lot of zombie stories out there. I don't think we've seen this in a comedic way though, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. In a different article, we learn about the abilities for both Danny and Ryan. Playing with Danny means heavy attacks release a powerful explosion on impact, as well as Danny regains health upon a quick succession of attacks. For Ryan, he gets a moderate force boost when using block or damage to avoid an attack. He also regains health each time he knocks down a zombie. I will admit though, from what I've seen so far, every character looks fun in their own ways, some having pretty interesting backstories to say the least. There's around 3 paragraphs of details for both of these characters, diving into how Ryan became a fireman stripper and how Danny became a roller derby player. Everything in Dead Island 2 is shaping out to be a pretty solid experience, but let me know your thoughts down below, as we've yet to see raw gameplay or really anything besides a cut every 3 seconds. But once we have more to share, expect more videos to come. Game Informer also recently released a podcast diving into their playtime experience with Dead Island 2, so I would check that out if I were you. There's some really good information in there. We learned about a wedding boss battle, some new locations, their impressions, and so on. Dead Island 2 stuff. I have a pretty good feeling this is going to be a solid year, but we'll see how it goes. Thanks for the love and support, folks, and be sure to stop by next time.